Hi, what's going on, guys? Pablo's back again, coming at you the showcase on the new Genryusa Yamamoto, and yeah, no, he's about as cracked as everyone expected him to be. He's actually probably more cracked than you even would think. But yeah. So going into it, he is a Soul Reaper captain with a Hollow Killer. They did slap on a Quincy Killer and gave him 2 killers total, which is really good, especially for Guild Quest. Honestly, the way that this character is built is he seems like he's gonna be a beast for GQ, but he's also pretty damn OP for content that you kind of want a Soul Bomb for. He's currently the hardest hitting nuke in the game by not even a mile, by like 17 miles. This character's Soul Bomb is double, if not more than double, the strength of someone like 7th Anniversary Ichigo, and a 2 out of 5 Yamamoto will out damage a 5/5 max transcended T20 Noelle, which is kind of absurd considering that she also has like bombardment, right? So going into it, we do have weaken and burn on all of his attacks. This is the stuff that I gave him, the T set, as well as the Lieutenant's Badge Fortification Pill for a bit of more focus and SP. For the links, we got Byakuya and Orihime, so we got some strong attack, recharge, full stamina damage boost. And then for the bonus abilities, I probably should have given him weaken defense, but since I want to play with this character and not really use him in Guild Quest, even though he was probably cracked in Guild Quest even at 1 out of 5, full stamina damage boost and long stride. Now, going into his actual skills, we do have dodge hollow damage 50%, sprinter +2, havoc 20%. Since he has a sprinter +2, personally I like long stride if I plan to actually play with this character in content like IT, ER, etc. I kind of want the long stride just so that way I can flash step a little bit more. Since he already has weakened defense built into his kit, yeah. If I'm ever going to use him in Guild Quest, I'll change it to weakened defense instead of long stride, but for now, I'd rather just have fun with the character. Going into his actual skills, we do have a Berserker 40%, we have a 36% from his Lieutenant's Badge, as well as the Frenzy Byakuya. Reduced strong attack cooldown total of 46%, which is really nice. Full stamina damage boost of 25% built in from his T20 skill. We have 36% full stamina damage boost from his links. Shared complete status immunity, so he is not only immune to all status elements, but he will actually provide the immunity to his allies if he were to be inflicted with a status element. He has Frenzy +1, he has the status element Spiritual Pressure boost +80%, Marauder, so he has Nullify melee resistance as well as Guard Break, the weakened defense to go along with his bombardment, and he also has weakening, which is absolutely insane. And to make matters even better, he has damage to burning enemies +40% and damage to weaken enemies +40%. Combined, since he does proc burn and weaken at the same time, he will actually deal +80% damage. It is actually not multiplicative, so it won't go up to 96% more damage, which we'll talk about in a bit, but still, really, really, really damn good. And Debilitator +5 seconds, really good. So without further ado, let's take him into IT and see how he performs there. This is going to be the place where he's pretty much just going to shine. I would take him into Epic Raids, but honestly, in Epic Raids, he's pretty good at 1 out of 5 if you're with a full party. But since the boss has like 75 million HP, I really cannot be bothered. I really cannot be bothered with all that. So let's see here. Alright, so let's take him into IT. Alright, so going into IT, I'm going to do a ×5 run. We got the Momo, we got the Kokuto, and he also has Killer against these enemies, which is awesome. They are immune to paralysis, which is perfect for him because he's going to have burn and weaken. Put both of these boosters on. Allies, let's not bring an ally. Shout out to my boy Rashid, Swig, my boy Baz B. Alright, let's check it out. First strong attack is going to be the same as Aizen's. It's going to be the 3000 length beam with the crazy whiff. Second strong attack is going to be the same as Aizen's with the 960 AoE, as well as the homing vortex. And then his third strong attack is going to be the same as Aizen's with his standard full screen third strong attack. Now, obviously, I'm talking about 6th Anniversary Aizen. This kit, in my opinion, is pretty cracked. I do like the long stride for IT. That way I can get in and out, especially with these stupid roly-poly enemies that annoy the literal hell out of me. 9300 with his third strong attack on an enemy that is not inflicted with status element. Boom, boom. Yeah, you like that, you filthy pig? Yes! Oh no! Yes! $960. I do love me long stride sprinter +2 though. Okay then. Should have a soul bomb here, yeah. We're probably gonna one-shot the regular hollows. 18,000 damage. Keep in mind that that was without a crit, right? So let's calculate that damage if we were to actually like take into account all of his multipliers, because he does have a lot of multipliers, right? So let's just take the 18,000. I believe that's what it was. And then now we're gonna multiply in all the crazy stuff. Now he has bombardment, so it's gonna be 8 hits total. Now we're gonna calculate in the weakening. We're gonna calculate in the weakened defense. Obviously we can get double weakened defense, so that could deal even more damage. And now we're gonna calculate in the fact that we have killer. We're gonna, oh no, hold on. We already have killer. We don't have to calculate that in. So 18,000 times 1.5 times 1.3 times 1.8 for the damage to burn and weaken enemies, and then multiply this by 7. We did have our status element spiritual pressure boost there, and then we add the original 18,000. So you'll see here that the 18,000 ended up turning like every subsequent hit from 18,000 all the way up to 63,000, which is pretty damn good. I'm pretty sure that we actually went even higher than that because the enemies might have guarded. Let's take him into IZ, see how he performs there. It's going to be a lot easier to properly check what we have access to there. We do have killer here too with the hollows over here, and we also have the regular Soul Reaper enemies, so we can see what kind of damage we deal outside of that. I'm just gonna do a ×1 run just because I don't actually need to do ×5 here. I want to save enough tickets to do the ×5 with my Aizen, so that way we can actually check out Aizen later. Alright, so first strong attack, boom, 22,000 before his spiritual pressure boost. Let's get our spiritual pressure boost and see what kind of damage we deal there, or let's just not. There's our spiritual pressure boost. 33,000 without the crit, so pretty damn good. 23,000 with the crit. So let's calculate that, right? 23,000 divided by 1.2, 19,000, and then it was like 32,000 with the crit divided by 19,000. See here that we're getting roughly 68% extra damage with our status element spiritual pressure boost. That's why I kind of say 65 to like 75% extra damage when it comes down to that, because there's usually like a range when it comes down to content like that. So 76,000 without the crit. There's our spiritual pressure boost. Easy clap. Boom. 124,000 with his second strong attack. 36,000. Oh, hold up. There's a status element spiritual pressure boost. $37,000. Not quite able to pick it up. That's fine. We could do another round. That's not a big deal. This is before our spiritual pressure boost, by the way. Okay. So fortunately, I did take a little screenshot of that. That way it's easier to see. Okay, so you'll see here that roughly we're getting 45,000 to 50,000 when we crit. However, this first enemy got 24,000. This enemy actually gave us our original damage without the status element spiritual pressure boost. So for the sake of the argument, we will actually be using, let's use the crit. 50,000 I think is a better number to just round off with. We do have like a 50% chance to crit anyways, thanks to the equipment that we're using. So 50,000, when we crit, we should hit roughly 183,000, right? So let's actually, let me make sure that I have everything in the screen. So now we're gonna get our damage times 1.3 for the weakened defense, times 1.5 for the weakening, times 1.8 for the damage to weaken and burn enemies. Boom. 175,000 roughly, right? And that is very, very close to the estimate of the 183,000 that we actually dealt there. So if we just take like a rough estimate, let's just round it out. So 180,000 per hit after they're weakened and burned. Multiply that by 7 plus the original 50,000. Boom. You'll see here that our special at 1 out of 5 is dealing 1.3 million. And that is not even taking into account that we're a 1 out of 5 unit. Sure, we're T20, but that wasn't with weakened defense on weakened defense. This is literally my long stride full stamina damage boost Yamamoto, and we could get a little bit more damage too if we switch out my tag team Byakuya link for another full stamina damage boost link, which I don't really want to do because I personally like strong attack recharge and I don't have a Chad. However, if we want to actually calculate in the damage that we get with this Yamamoto, if we were to have the Chad link with his soul bomb, because remember that this Byakuya link wouldn't help us, but the Senkaimon Chad gives us full stamina damage boost. What we're going to do is we're going to take our full stamina damage boost multiplier and we're going to actually divide it by that. So we're going to divide it by 1.61 and then we're going to multiply by if we have the Chad, which would be times 1.86. And you'll see here that our damage would actually rise from 1.31 million all the way to 1.51 million. And that damage, by the way, this 1.5 million is more damage than characters like Bankai Hikone, for example, with his weakening, and that's like assuming that you have weakened defense on him. I think he has like maybe 800k to 900k with killer. Like, this Yamamoto is absolutely cracked, and that's literally just with one special move. One thing to note is that he does not have hidden enemies, which kind of holds him back, but then again, just put on a Zeta pill. I don't think that giving him hidden enemies is worth it for his T15 or T20 skill, because if you take him into epic raids, which he is a bonus right now, or if you take him into content like Guild Quest, he literally will not make use of that skill, whereas the long stride, you can make use of it. If you want to do weakened defense, he can make better use of that in that type of content. But personally, I love playing with these types of characters with long stride and sprinter +2. I love sprinter +2. Okay. And if you made it to this part of the video and you're probably guessing, wait, but Sweat, you didn't calculate in killer. And I'm like, oh yeah, right, I didn't. Yeah, this character's stupid. So you'll see here that I actually do have killer against this holo where I use my special, and it's 77,341. And that is incredibly OP. So we're gonna take that. Now we're gonna do all our multipliers, right? So we do have killer, we have our SP boost at this point, and now we're gonna multiply the 1.3 times 1.5 times 1.8, which is the damage to burn weaken. Boom. So we're gonna get 271,000 damage with the subsequent hits of that critical right there. Multiply that by 7, and we're gonna have 1.9 million. 1 of 5 with killer in IZ. Now, obviously, IZ you triple killer damage, but still, it's just, you know, I do IZ or IT for literally all my stuff, plus the initial hit of the 77,000. Plus 77,341. Now, 1.97 million without a tension tie, and this is also 1.97 million with one weakened defense. This is I do have long stride on him instead of double weakened defense. Let's assume that he got double weakened defense. We can do that too. Times 1.6 again, because 60% killer, now we're gonna get the 60% damage from the weakened defense. Multiply that by 1.5 times 1.8. 330k per hit, multiply that by 7, plus the 77,341 for the initial hit, and boom. 2.416 million as opposed to 1.9 million. Now, if we divide this, we're gonna get divide by 1977609. Boom. The double weakened defense actually gives us a rough increase of 22% damage with our special move. This is without a tension tie, and also this is not even taking into account the Chad link that we were talking about, right? So if I do want to take that 1977609 million, the 1.9 million, if I divide it by 1.61 and then multiply it by 1.86, you'll see here that our special move goes up to 2.2 million. So getting that Chad is pretty much a big game changer when it comes to this character's special move, because he does have bombardment and the weakened defense built into him. Also, like I said, this is without double weakened defense. This is a regular long stride full stamina damage boost T20 Yamamoto. He doesn't need it. If you want to give it to him, cool. If you're struggling with Guild Quest, cool. But he honestly does sub 1 second at like 2 out of 5, maybe even 1 out of 5. We'll see how the videos come out, because I'm sure there's going to be some crazy vids. Oh. Oh, I lied. I lied horribly. I lied to y'all. I didn't calculate killer. I didn't calculate killer, did I? Nope. I did not calculate killer at all, did I? Okay. With killer, he deals 2.4 million if I had a chat link. Okay.